Travelling up the Jordan Valley and across the Galilee region to reach Haifa in northern Israel makes you aware how serious a problem water is for both Israel and the Kingdom of Jordan. To grow the fruit and olives this region produces means taking millions of litres of water a year from the Sea of Galilee and the River Jordan. Water volumes in both are at record low levels. But a solution to this area's currently unsustainable demand for water could be at hand inside this greenhouse on the roof of a building at the Haifa Technion. Here, Professor Shimon Gebstein is perfecting his method of making crops grow using only a fraction of the water that plants normally need to stay alive.
We try to water the plants with only 30% of the optimal amount that plants need. And surprisingly, these plants not only survive under these drought conditions, they also produce high yield. Very, very little damage.
What Professor Gebstein discovered is that there's a hormone in plants which, when turned off, causes the plant to yellow and die. What Professor Gebstein also discovered is that this same hormone will make a plant much more resistant to drought.
In this experiment, the normal plants are wilting after only a few days of not being watered. Sensing a drought on the way, they've stopped producing the so-called juvenile hormone. But Professor Gebstein has induced this batch of plants to keep producing their juvenile hormone, despite the lack of watering, and they're still growing strong.
This was the accident. We forgot to water the plants. Sometimes it happens even for scientists. So we forgot to water them, and surprisingly we found that these plants can survive after 3 weeks of total drought. And then we found this kind of a linkage, that the same plant hormone that is responsible for plant aging is also can give us resistance against drought stress. In Israel, when wheat plants germinate, usually we have rain. Sometimes rain stoppage for 2-3 weeks, and this is disaster. We claim dry year for the state of Israel. If plants can survive for another 2-3 weeks, then you save the whole field. You save the whole economy of Israel, the agriculture of Israel.
Plants which need 70% less water to grow could mean a welcome drop in abstraction levels from the endangered Sea of Galilee and River Jordan. But Gideon Bromberg of Friends of the Earth Middle East is worried the new technology might encourage ever more land in Israel and Jordan to be used to raise water-intensive crops like bananas.
We want efficient use of water resources, but then we need to look at the broader question of sustainability. So the growing of bananas in the midst of a semi-arid part of the world doesn't make much sense. Israel is, top class when it comes to efficiency, and the rest of the world has a lot to learn. But on the other hand, when it comes to sustainability, Israel is not where it needs to be.
Professor Gebstein has sold the patents for his discovery to a Californian seed company, Arcadia Bio. His real hope is for drought-resistant crops to be grown in the desert countries of the Middle East, in uncultivated areas of the Sinai, say, or the Sahara. It would boost world food supply and boost the incomes of local people. He's asking Middle Eastern countries to collaborate with him to develop the technology. But for political reasons, most of them refuse to deal with Israel, and they've ignored his offer. It'll take time and delicate diplomacy to persuade them to use an Israeli discovery to help make their deserts bloom.